That's convenient. Vision works.
Tonight, several developing stories as we come on the air. The deadly police shooting, the bride-to-be shot and killed by police. She had called 911 for help. Their body cameras were not on. Tonight, the family outraged and what police are now saying. Gone in an instant. 9 members of a single family swept away, children as young as 2. President Trump tonight hoping to turn the page, but then tweeting about Don Jr.'s meeting with the Russian lawyer himself. The health scare tonight involving John McCain, what doctors have discovered, and what this now means for the Senate's health care bill. The 2 teenagers who disappeared on a hiking trail, what did one of the girls' phones capture? And tonight here, the new sketch, They Need Your Help. And O.J. Simpson about to get his parole hearing, what we've learned tonight, and what are his chances of going free.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Monday night. And we begin with the deadly police shooting. The bride-to-be, the wedding a month away, was shot and killed by police after she had just called 911 for help. It happened in Minneapolis. Justine Damon had called reporting a possible assault in the alley behind her home. 2 officers responding when she reportedly approached the car. The officer in the passenger side of the patrol car opened fire. And tonight we've learned their body cameras were not on. ABC's Lindsay Davis is in Minneapolis, leading us off.
Tonight, a Minnesota man is demanding to know why his fiancée was shot and killed by police after her call to 911 for help.
The death of Justine is a loss to everyone who knew her. She touched so many people with her loving and generous heart.
Justine Damon was originally from Australia, a yoga and meditation teacher seen here recently talking about her spiritual journey.
I'm originally from Sydney, Australia, and we have a beautiful tradition there.
She was getting married next month, but late Saturday night, she called police to report a possible assault in the alley behind her home.
It was dark. Damon exited out of her house into this alleyway and then walked toward the street to meet the officers who were in their squad car responding to her 911 call.
The Minneapolis Star-Tribune reports Damon in pajamas approached the driver's side. According to the Tribune, the officer in the passenger seat then opened fire through the driver's side door.
Shots fired. Can we get EMS code 3 Washburn and 51st Street? Got one down.
Damon's future stepson is outraged.
My mom is dead because the police officer shot her for reasons I don't know.
Both officers are on administrative leave. The police chief is calling for a transparent and independent investigation, saying, I understand why so many people have so many questions at this point.
I am heartsick and deeply disturbed. I have a lot of questions about why the body cameras weren't on.
The city rolled out body cams last year after calls for transparency following the fatal shooting of Philando Castile in nearby St. Anthony. That officer was acquitted in the shooting that was captured only on dash cam. But in this case, no body cams were rolling, and the dash cam didn't capture the incident.
We've lost the dearest of people, and we're desperate for information.
Tonight, this community is asking why police took their neighbor and friend.
And Lindsay Davis joins us live from Minneapolis tonight. And Lindsay, many questioning why those body cameras were not activated.
Certainly, that is a big question tonight. Why weren't those body cameras on? It's very clear in the Minneapolis Police Department policy that those cameras should be turned on prior to any search, any use of force, and any contact with a citizen. David?
Lindsay Davis leading us off tonight. Lindsay, thank you. Next tonight, President Trump. He had major plans today to turn the page from the Russia investigation to Made in America. But then he tweeted about Russia himself, about his son Don Jr. and that Russian meeting. It comes amid our new poll showing President Trump's approval rating at a record low 36%. That's the lowest since right after World War II. What did the president tweet, and why then did the White House give an answer, leading to more questions? Here's ABC's chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl.
At the White House, it's Made in America week, featuring products made in all 50 states, including this fire truck made in Wisconsin.
Where's the fire? Put it out fast.
But even as the president's aides try to shift the focus to American manufacturing, the president himself turned the subject right back to Russia, tweeting about his son's meeting with a Kremlin-connected Russian lawyer during the campaign. Most politicians would have gone to a meeting like the one Don Jr. attended in order to get info on an opponent. The president tweeted this morning, that's politics. The new ABC News Washington Post poll shows that 2/3 of Americans say they disapprove of the president's use of Twitter, but his tweets drive the news. And at today's White House press briefing, where cameras were not allowed, the White House story changed once again.
There was nothing that, as far as we know, that would lead anyone to believe that there was anything except for a discussion about adoption of the Maginski Act. But I would refer you back to counsel on that one.
That flies in the face of the emails Don Jr. released himself a week ago, showing the meeting was set up, quote, to provide the Trump campaign with some official documents and information that would incriminate Hillary. The 4 pages of emails setting up the meeting don't even mention the word adoption, and the president himself said it was about opposition research.
I do think this. I think from a practical standpoint, most people would have taken that meeting. It's called opposition research, or even research into your opponent.
On This Week, the president's lawyer offered a new defense of the meeting.
Well, I've wondered why the Secret Service, if this was nefarious, why did the Secret Service allow these people in? The president had Secret Service protection at that point. That raised a question with me.
The Secret Service shot back in a statement Sunday. Donald Trump Jr. was not under Secret Service protection in June 2016. Thus, we would not have screened anyone he was meeting with at that time.
So let's get live to John Carl at the White House tonight. And John, we saw the president's push at the top of your report for Made in America today. President Trump was often asked as a candidate why his products are made overseas. His daughter Ivanka facing the same questions. It did come up again today at the White House, didn't it?
Absolutely. Sean Spicer getting a lot of questions on this. He conceded there are some products that the Trump organization simply cannot buy made in America. The point of the president's initiative, he said, is to promote more American manufacturing. But, David, what he did not say is that there would be any new commitment from the Trump companies to buy more American-made goods.
John Carl leading us off at the White House for our Washington coverage tonight. The other major headline from Washington, meanwhile, that major health scare for Senator John McCain. Tonight, what doctors have now discovered, and it's forced Senate Republicans to hold off now on their health care bill because they need his vote. ABC's Mary Bruce on the Hill tonight.
Tonight, the Republican quest to overhaul Obamacare is held up because of a health scare. Senator John McCain's recovering at home in Arizona after doctors opened his skull to remove a blood clot.
We hope John McCain gets better very soon, because we miss him. He's a crusty voice in Washington. Plus, we need his vote.
But before leaving Washington, McCain himself was on the fence about the health care bill.
Right now, we have no consensus.
The vote's now on hold until McCain returns. The delay gives opponents of the bill more time to lobby against it.
Does this delay make this easier or harder to get this done?
I don't know. I just don't know.
Already 2 Republican senators have said they cannot support the bill. Just one more no vote would sink the bill. And by our count, at least 10 are still on the fence. The president has warned Republicans to get this done, or else.
I will be very angry about it, and a lot of people will be very upset. But I'm sitting waiting for that bill to come to my desk.
Mary Bruce is live on the Hill tonight for us. And Mary, how is Senator McCain doing? Any word on him tonight?
David, it's still unclear when he will be back here in Washington, but his good friend Lindsey Graham just told us that McCain is already sounding like his old self. But this was a real scare. Graham says before this surgery, McCain was feeling really tired and acting forgetful. But tonight he's eager to get back here to Washington and back to work. David.
Mary Bruce with us from Washington as well. Mary, thank you. We turn now to the devastating moment a family of 9 was swept away in a flash flood in Arizona. There was a warning, but in their remote spot, they did not hear it. ABC's Kenneth Moten in Arizona.
Tonight, in the air and on the ground, an urgent search for a missing father. Some 40 searchers, including volunteers and dogs northeast of Phoenix, all looking for Hector Garnica, his wife Maria, their 3 children, and 5 other members of their extended family did not survive. The youngest, just 2 years old.
I can't even begin to tell you how I feel for this family. I mean, these are the age of these kids were 2 years old, 5 years old, 3 years old. It's just heartbreaking.
Holy mackerel.
A bystander capturing the rush of water as the family celebrated Maria's birthday.
These people almost got hit.
Then she spots someone in a tree.
Trying to rescue this guy and his 1-month-old baby. There's the son over there and the mom's in the water.
The water roaring. Rescuers soon on scene, saving 4 others.
That 6-foot-high wall of water swept away just about everything in its path, carrying trees, mud, and a lot of rocks. And it was moving fast, more than 30 miles per hour.
All of it caused by just an inch and a half of rain. That mixture of ash and logs left behind by the Highline fire, burning more than 7,000 acres in June.
And Kenneth Moten joins us from Arizona tonight. Kenneth, the difficult thing here is that there was a warning, but no way for them to hear it.
That's right, David. The National Weather Service did issue a flash flood warning about an hour and a half before the flood hit. But there's no cell phone service in that area, so with no cheap weather radio like this one or alerts from their phones, that family just didn't know that wall of water was coming. David.
That's right. Take those weather radios when you head out into the remote wilderness. Kenneth Moten, thank you and welcome to the team. In the meantime, there are flood watches in the west at this hour and severe storms building here in the east. Let's get right to meteorologist Ginger Z. She's live along the West Side Highway tonight for us. Ginger?
David, we've already seen 2 inches in just 30 minutes south of Tucson. So that flash flooding is on, and the watch is on from Las Vegas to Tucson. That tropical moisture, both from the Gulf of Mexico and the Pacific, converging there in that monsoon flow that's going to be with us for a few months. So something to note tonight. Also, damaging wind possible, 60+ mile per hour from parts of the northern plains into the northeast. And you can see 2-inch per hour rainfall rates, even in Pennsylvania already today. All those red boxes, flash flood warnings. Finally, the heat. Excessive heat warning, both St. Louis and Kansas City. Midweek is the worst. David?
Ginger Z with us tonight. We'll see you in the morning, Ginger. Thank you. In the meantime, overseas tonight at new developments in the case of baby Charlie at the center of a tug of war. An American doctor beginning his evaluation of 11-month-old Charlie Gard. ABC's James Longman from London tonight.
Today, Charlie's family got the chance they've been fighting for. A team of doctors spent the day at his side to determine if he might benefit from experimental treatment in the United States. His genetic disease has left him unable to move, see, hear, or even breathe alone. Doctors say he should be allowed to die. Tonight, a US family whose 6-year-old son suffers from the same condition tell ABC why they too opposed the medical opinion.
I had a strong intuition that something was wrong. I was right.
These are parents united in a struggle for their children. This is the man Charlie's parents are pinning their hopes on, Dr. Michio Hirano, a neurological specialist from Columbia University. He believes there's a 10% chance the 11-month-old's muscle strength could improve. This is perhaps a battle of parental instinct versus medical reason, but it's a battle the courts will have to settle. And Charlie's wait may soon be coming to an end. The team of doctors will send their report to the High Court this week for the judge to make his long-awaited decision. David?
James Longman in London for us. James, thank you, and we'll have much more on baby Charlie and the American family, that pioneering treatment that has given them hope. That's later tonight on Nightline. In the meantime, we continue here with the news, and O.J. Simpson, just days now from his parole hearing in Nevada. Tonight, what we've learned about the prosecutor in that robbery case, what he expects this week, and what are Simpson's chances now of going free. Here's ABC's Matt Gutman.
After 9 years in prison, O.J. Simpson just days away from a decision that could set him free.
Count 1, conspiracy to commit a crime. Guilty.
This time, he'll have some unlikely people in his corner. The victim of Simpson's botched 2007 attempt to recover sports memorabilia is reportedly not expected to oppose his release. And the prosecutor who helped secure his sentence of up to 33 years for armed robbery says he expects he'll get paroled.
I've not had any incidences, despite all the stories in the tabloids and everything.
The prison says Simpson has been a model inmate. But will his acquittal in the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman hurt him with the parole board?
Can Simpson get 4 out of the 7? To say, I'm just not going to let the fact that he's almost certainly a murderer impact my decision.
And it's a hearing, David, that will be streamed live, which means that millions are likely to watch it. Now, if Simpson is granted parole, he won't walk free until October. David.
Matt Gutman with us again tonight. Thank you, Matt. Next this evening, 2 major changes from the Trump administration about who can enter the U.S. The Department of Homeland Security today announcing it will issue an additional 15,000 non-immigrant visas to foreign workers, allowing them to fill low-wage jobs. Also, the State Department amending the president's travel ban in response to a federal court in Hawaii. Grandparents, cousins, and other relatives from the